Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 3, The Tea is Served. And that it was. This episode was... I don't even know how I should review it, especially when we get towards the end, because I couldn't get the back and forth that was transpiring. But it was a mess. Anyway, let's get into it. So Kenya, we see her first dropping by this art gallery where she wants to have Brooklyn's 3rd birthday party. So this is the venue that she's chosen. It's beautiful. I love the concept of being in the art gallery, you know, around all of that beautiful art. It was just a perfect place for a tea party. She got all the notes, of course, for the party planner. She want this, she want that. I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need that, I'm gonna need you to do this, I'm gonna need you to do that. It was just a whole bunch of notes that she had for the party planner. So it was for sure going to be a pretty penny. And so when they sit down and talk about the budget, which is going to be upwards of 10 to 15K, she's thinking maybe closer to 10K because, of course, she's going to be doing it alone. Mark will not be helping her out with this party. She tells the lady about her divorce, you know, what's going on with them. In her confessional, she tells us she has full custody, but there aren't any stipulations. Like, he can see Brooklyn whenever he wants to see her, as long as he's visiting her in Atlanta. So there's that. The man need to sign the papers, and he need to, you know, transfer the funds when it's time to plan these birthdays, because I would not be doing that alone. 15,000. Ain't no, we didn't know, you know, we didn't get to see how much she actually spent on the party, but it was money well spent for sure. It was money well spent. Sheree and Marlo, they have a workout date. More so Sheree than Marlo. Marlo just sitting around. You know, they were timing her workouts. It was 15 seconds here, 10 seconds there. Marlo was there to just sit around. Marlo's the type that will just go get it taken off as opposed to working it off. Sheree she about her workout regimen. And I respect that. But anyway, they talk. We find out that Sheree's son Cairo, he works at Tyler Perry Studios. He works in their wardrobe department. So go him. Hopefully, you know, Marlo can get, you know, in the door as well, and she can be styling, or the people can be using, you know, her items, her pieces from Le Archive for, you know, these movies and TV shows and things like that. Of course, Marlo gonna ask everybody she can that has a male child in their home, can you help? Can you help me with my kids? You know, well, with my nephews. They have that in common. Anyway, we segue into this assistant, Anthony, and you know, what's the tea on that? Marlo says that the streets say Sheree don't pay the people. That's just what the streets are saying. Sheree has issues with Candy. She got beef with Candy because Candy, of all people, should not have gone to Marlo and Kenya with this instead of coming to me. And that's true. Candy, to be somebody's friend, and for you to say to Drew, you need to tell her, you need to call her. You could have called her too. You know, I granted, later on she says that she was trying to give Drew some time to tell on herself, but if you were going to give her time to tell it, then you shouldn't have went to Kenya and Marlo about it. Like, you should have just let it be what it was and waited for her to, you know, spill that on her own. But anyway, Sheree says, you know, that as it relates to Drew, she got some tea on Drew too. You know, like Anthony been telling her stuff too. He done told her a whole lot of things about Drew and her family and her husband and what's going on over there in their household. So she might want to tread lightly. They talk about the tea party. Marlo will be at the tea party. She mentions Kenya's shade, you know, because Marlo had a lot to say about, Kenya had a lot to say about Marlo's invitation, and then Kenya turned around and sent her invitation via text. So she's not as, you know, pulled up as she thought she was, because anybody you send an invitation, send it in the mail. I guess that's the best way to do it. That shows you have etiquette, I assume. I don't know. Listen, we're in the text message era, And so you're going to get this text message invitation and you going to take it, RSVP, come or don't come. But I'm not wasting money on stamps. For what? For what when you can get it on your phone? Anyway, Candy, she's going to be doing, she's doing the Broadway show. We saw that on Candy in the Game. It's going well, whatever. She wants to have the ladies go to New York and see a show, and so they all plan to do that. We're going to get that next week. They're going to be in New York. She's booked another role. I want to say it was, I don't know if this is a movie role, but we saw her doing her self-tape audition for the role, and she got it. This particular character is a lesbian or bisexual. I don't know, but she liked the girls. And so Candy don't have no problem. She ain't got no issues with the girl-on-girl sex scenes. And then Todd comes in, and I guess he's her manager, Nick. He's on FaceTime, well, Zoom. And he asked Todd, so what you think, how you feel about Candy doing a little girl-on-girl sex scene? And he's like, I love it. It's the men we not finna have. We not doing no sex scenes with another man. That's where it gets uncomfortable for him. But girl on girl, he's fine with that. Todd tells Nick that he gonna have to ease up on all these bookings though, cause listen, it's starting to interfere with the sex life, and so yeah, they gotta reel that back in before it gets to be too big of a problem. They just have to figure it out. Have to figure out how to get back on the same page, and not two ships passing in the night. So they'll get there. Todd, he ends up sitting down. He opens up about his feelings about everything because she started to really grow and take off as far as her career goes. And in the beginning, he had a lot to do with that. It's not a lot to do with it, but I should say when they first got married, they did a lot together. It was, Todd and Candy was the Candy and Todd show, and now it's the Candy show. And he's kind of feeling a little left out, and I appreciated him for vocalizing that, and not harboring it, and then letting it come out in bitterness. But he's open and honest about the fact that I feel left out now. And she's like, but you left me out of your project. Socialize, that's the name of it. He is working on a project. There's some deals on the table. And so we will see, hopefully within the, coming future, that he has his show up and running. And he wants it to just be his. She wanted to be EP on it. And it's like, girl, you don't have to be involved in everything. Just like he ain't involved in everything you doing. So what's good for you should be good for him. So don't turn it and say that it's a resentment thing, because she threw that out there. And he's like, I don't like that you're throwing out that weird word. Like, don't throw out resentment. I do not resent you. It's just everything is about you, and these people don't realize that I'm talented too. I got something to offer too. I've been working too. This is what he does. Production, the behind the scenes, all of that. That's what Todd does. And Todd has had his hands in a whole lot of projects that we don't know about. But I guess now Todd is like, listen, I want my name at the forefront, and not having to share the spotlight with you. Just like you don't have to share the spotlight with me on all, with everything. This is their storyline. When they finish talking, Nick is still on the line, and Todd's like, oh, so what did you get what I was saying, Nick? And Nick says, you have your point of view, and I think that you're very clear on that. Very politically correct. Very much. Drew and Anthony, they go shopping for Brooklyn, and of course they talk about, we right away we talking about Sheree and what's going on with that. She brings up their first encounter. And I didn't realize that they didn't know one another. I mean, I guess, this Drew's first season was last season, so I guess so. But anyway, Anthony says that, Sheree was his good Judy, and they had to cut ties though because she would not pay him. She didn't like to pay. And of course, we know the blogs have been saying that for years. We get this, the production is gonna show us where the blogs have had all of these stories, with all of these people coming forward saying that Sheree wasn't paying them. And I'm assuming she does the barter thing. And I guess that's her hustle, like Drew said. But no, you're going to have to pay the people. You're going to have to pay the people. Like, we cannot keep running this same story over and over and over again as it relates to Sheree and not paying people. Pay the people. And why y'all keep going over there and doing stuff for her knowing she don't pay the people? Anyway, Sonya, she ends up calling and she crying hysterically, and it's an emergency. She says an 18-wheeler kind of clipped her and drug her down the road a little bit, and she's just listen. She's completely beside herself. Her husband is out of town. She need a ride. And so Anthony, all he concerned with is his tacos. So no tacos today? No tacos today. And why you even think about them tacos after hearing that? Anyway, they go pick her up. And it looked like a fender bender to me, but I'm just going to let it ride. If she says she was drugged down the road, she was drugged down the road. The car did not look that way. But that's what she said. Anyway, and she wasn't even in somebody that had been drugged down the street. The way that she was just, looking like she was just, she didn't look that torn up about it. It was almost like we had to put 20 on 10, for the cameras, for, to give a little suspense. I don't know, but she was drugged down the road, so she said. Kenya and Brooklyn, they getting ready for the party. Then we see Sheree calling Tyrone to see if he can meet her in New York when they go out there for Candy's Broadway show. Marlo, we see her and the boys. She asking them if they want to come to the party. Of course, they ain't trying to come to no baby party. Sonya and Aaron, they at the house, chatting about the party. He's back from working out of town. He has a chauffeur, concierge type of situation. I would say it's a chauffeur service, like a rideshare service. No, not even rideshare. Chauffeur, like Uber Black, if you will. But anyway, he has that, and it's in Texas, where I guess where their headquarters is, and he had to go out there and see about it. The pandemic kind of slowed things down, so he really does have to get out there and do it himself. All right, Brooklyn's party. Everybody late. Everybody but the white folks that she invited, of course. They on time. They on time, but the cast members are all late. Sonya gets there. Sheree is there first. And then Sonya gets there, and Drew comes in there dressed like a knockoff version of Kenya's Barbie look from Brooklyn's second birthday party. I want to say that was last season, or maybe the season before. Whenever she had that Barbie party, Kenya had that same tulle, with the belt look. It was really cute on Kenya. I didn't like the color of Drew's, because I want to say it's the same fit. I just didn't like the color. I didn't like that gray. But anyway, Manetta is also there. I'm assuming she was auditioning. I don't think she made the cut. I don't know if she's gonna, be in and out as a friend of the show, but she was there with her children. Candy get there super late, because we waiting at the door for Brooklyn to walk in, and then here come Candy and Ace and Blaze. And that's the baby name, right? Isn't her name Blaze? I know that's the name of the restaurant. Her name is Blaze, right? It's Blaze and Ace. I'm saying it, but it don't sound like that's right. It don't sound like that's their baby name, but I feel like that's her name. But anyway, they come walking in, and she's like, why everybody looking? Why everybody crowd around the door? Girl, we waiting on Brooklyn. Oh, let me get in line. And then they, come. Then Brooklyn comes in with her Chanel bag. I said, go ahead, girl. Brooklyn, walk through with your Chanel. My mama gave me a Gucci bag at her age, and that Gucci, she said I tore it up, and she never bought me a designer bag until I was a teenager again. And I wouldn't have bought a 3-year-old a designer bag either. Like, it's gonna be all types of crap in this bag. Hold on. Okay, when Brooklyn gets there, they start the games. They have one game, a trivia game about Brooklyn. You know, what does everybody know about her? Then there's another one that's a shade game, you know, like throw a little tea on the shade or something like that. And everybody like, at the kids' party, we gonna be throwing shade? I mean, okay. We see, you know, the party going on. Marlo sitting with the girls, teaching them how to sip properly. Like, don't do your pinky up when you sip the tea. You know, that's ghetto. Oh, it was so cute. But anyway, we see Sonya and she on mommy duty. Listen, Deuce, don't bring him to another party because he is just not here for it. He was misbehaving something serious. and I get that. That's why when people be like, where's the kid? At the house. Do you realize I'm trying to enjoy myself here? If it's a kid's party, yes. But if it's like cookout where your kids could come or could not, it's going to be some adult activities around the back of the party or not. You know, if it's going to be something like that, I'm not bringing them. Nope. Because I want to enjoy the party. I want to enjoy myself. And I can't do that if I got to be running behind kids running up to me, asking me for this, that, and the third, whining about this, that, and the third. They ready to go. They got to go to the bathroom. They got to do this. They got to do that. I'm hungry. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So no, you can't come. You can't come unless it's going to be a whole lot of kids there. Don't play with me. So I felt Sonya's pain with that one. They start the games. Like I said, when we get to the shade game, one of them questions, one of the statements on it read that Candy sucked dick in a locker room. Candy's like, whoa, what? I did what? She say, listen, I done plenty of things, but that I've never done. I feel like, I want to say it's between Marlo and Kenya, honestly, because Kenya kind of had like a nonchalant attitude about it. It's kind of like, oh well, wow, my goodness. I mean, well, you were late, so we got to move on. She didn't care that Candy was very upset about that because she was not trying to let that go. Then we get another one about Marlo's the one that did it. I think this one is coming from Marlo about the archive and it being nothing on the site or something like that. And you know, that's some shade. That was from, I don't know who that was from, but you know, Marlo has to defend her site. Then Marlo and Kenya start going back and forth, and Kenya wants clarity about what was said about her Range Rover, and Marlo says, you know, oh well, I mean, that's just the word on the street. I mean, you know. That's just a word on the street. I mean, that's why I repeated it. I mean, because I heard, you know. They always do that back and forth. It's old, it's tired, it's late. I don't know how this happens because I gotta go. So I gotta wrap this up. But I don't know how this happened. But Drew ends up, what she wrote on the card was directed at Sheree and not paying her bills. And so now we're going to address it because Sheree wasn't going to address it at the party, but now we're addressing it. And here we are. You know, they had Sheree, she never said that she don't pay the people. She just, you know, kept saying that Anthony is not her assistant, blah, 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 blah. They're having this back and forth. Sheree done called her a ditzy bitch. It's just like, it's all bad, you know, and Kenya stirred it up. She stirred the pot. She stirred it up, as Funky Dineva would say. But then Fatima, her friend, Sheree's friend, she chimes in. She's like, wait, isn't Anthony the same guy that told you that her husband was gay? And everybody's like, yo, what? Drew, she act like she didn't even hear it. But she did hear it because she checked her in that moment like, don't do that. We not doing that. That's my husband. Don't play with me. Don't do that. You might as well just shut the fuck up. And everybody's like, Fatima's like, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to convey that he messy. He done said this about her. He done said this about you. And both of y'all should be mad at him, not each other. That's all that they was trying to say, Drew. Because Drew is ditzy. Because she act like, oh, I didn't get it. I didn't even hear that. What? What? My husband? What? You heard her, girl. And we gonna revisit. We gonna have to revisit that one. This white lady was at the table and she just done got fed up. This is a kids party. It's a children's party. I'm getting my kids. I'm out of here. I'm taking my kids and I'm leaving. Everybody like, Okay, girl. Kenya and some other black lady, they walking up to her, rubbing her back and shit. I hate when black women do that. Sit your ass down. Sit down. Because if it was you, she would not care. She would not care, and they not running to your aid. So sit your ass down. Really getting up, running to see about it like she just distraught. She'll be all right. She can take her kids and go. Bye, girl. See you at work on Monday morning. Please. Anyway, she leave, and I was with Sonya. Sonya say, "Go, lady." Go, lady. Bye. Because she had to turn around and come back and say it some more. Girl, please. Please. It was another white lady. She was sitting there with her child. She was, I guess, with the shits. Because she said, I'm going to sit right here. Get my little camera time. I'm right in the midst. She was right there. Didn't move a muscle. She said she's not bothered by what's happening, you know. But anyway, once this is over with and this is time to go, Drew and Sheree back at it again at the door over the same, you know, bullshit, you know, over this Anthony stuff. Drew feels like, well, if you had heard that about my husband, then you should have came to me just like I guess I should have came to you with what I heard. But both of y'all don't have no loyalty to one another, so why are you expecting that from one another? I don't get it. I mean, Sheree, in her defense, that's what she said. You know, she's like, I shouldn't expect that from you. You know, I expect Candy to tell me. So she is a little upset with Candy. You know, I expect this from you. I expect you to run stuff to me when it needs to be, you know, brought to me. Now, I can't expect her to do that. And then, of course, that made Drew feel away because don't be saying her like I'm not standing here. I got a name. Now we're going back and forth. Now we're doing this right here and this right here. And yeah, girl. Okay, girl. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Drag me. Drag me. Drag me. You gonna drag me? You gonna drag me? It was given what's the name? Candace and Monique over there from Potomac. It was gonna get bad in a minute. It was gonna go left if Drew didn't back down. Drew act like she can fight. And I know Sheree can fight. Look at her. You know she can fight. Candy told her, you know Sheree got a mean right hook, right? She got a strong right hook. Drew said, I got a strong everything. Okay, girl, we'd like to see it. We'd like to see it. Anyway, that's where they end. Mess, and more mess. They're going to be going to New York, probably bringing the same bullshit to New York. But, I mean, we here for the ride. We're going to be there. Let me get off of here. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.